This video magazine contains stories on the new SLC100 programmable controller at work for a New Mexico resort area, AC starters and contactors in bolted enclosures, new additions to the Bulletin 802 limit switch family, and multiple motor control with a single Bulletin 1334 AC drive.
Tucked snugly away in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of northern New Mexico, the resort community of Angel Fire is host to a growing number of permanent residents and seasonal visitors. The utility needs of the Angel Fire community are not much different than any other small town or village. To supply water to the homes and businesses, Angel Fire depends on a system of wells and pumping stations to fill storage tanks located around the valley. Remote pump sites like this 400-foot deep well located in a nearby canyon are being automated. Tank levels, line pressures, chlorination, and pump motor operation are all handled by an on-site control system.
Well automation and booster station automation is essential to our operation here. We just have too vast an area, and the snow restricts us from getting in it many times. In the springtime we have the mud, and the mountainous terrain just prevents us from getting to these sites like we'd like to.
Logic to the well control system is supplied by an Allen Bradley SLC100 programmable controller. The compact SLC100 with 2 expansion units currently utilizes a total of 17 inputs and 18 outputs to run the well. Tied in to pressure sensing devices, the program developed for the SLC100 safeguards the system against back pressure surges due to power outages, blocked lines, or other system problems. The flexibility and low cost of the SLC100 and the ability to use a small panel enclosure made it more appealing than traditional control systems. The SLC100 controlled Peralta well is the first of a number of automated wells and booster stations that will ultimately be linked by a telemetry system.
These pump stations are located all over the mountains near Angel Fire, and in Angel Fire, the box canyons that get very inaccessible without traveling on a snowmobile to get to them. And so consequently it gets expensive. You know, manpower-wise, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to get in and out and check on them and that sort of thing. And with this, with their future telemetry system and everything, they'll know if there's a problem of any sort, and then they can visit the site. But they don't have to be visited on a regular basis just to check on it.
With the SLC100 feeding and receiving information via telemetry, Angel Fire can maximize the use of one of the Southwest's most precious resources.
Our plans are to get as much knowledge of our system as we can. We've got things to look at in regards to water management. We've got this is the Southwest, we've got an arid climate out here. We don't have a lot of water. Knowing just what water we pull out of the ground, where it goes, is important to us so that we can, from this point forward, develop a water resource management program.
Supplying the growing Angel Fire with the needed 138 million gallons of water a year is a big job, one that's being handled by a small package. Allen Bradley's SLC100 programmable controller.
Allen Bradley's Bulletin 500 line of AC starters and contactors are now available in new bolted enclosures specifically designed for use in applications where hazardous atmospheres may be present. 2 enclosure versions are available, one for NEMA Type 7 and 9 indoor hazardous locations, and one for both indoor and outdoor NEMA Type 3R, 7 and 9 hazardous locations. The 2 enclosures are identical in design, except that the NEMA Type 3R, 7 and 9 units include a drain and specially designed cover gasket. Fitting into a machine groove, the cover gasket is an Allen Bradley exclusive and helps seal the flange against the entry of moisture and corrosive elements. The triangular gasket compresses against the machine surfaces of the retaining groove as the cover is secured, making the enclosure suitable for outdoor NEMA 3R applications. Additional features of the bolted enclosures include captive quick-release bolts, a hinge-removable cover, provision for both drains and breathers, top and bottom conduit entry, and a control wiring conduit opening, along with conformance to the newest National Electrical Code wire bending space requirements. Push buttons, pilot lights, and selector switches are mounted in the enclosure cover and can be installed at the factory or in the field. The new bolted enclosures are ideal for applications where starters and contactors need to operate in hazardous environments. Allen Bradley's family of Bulletin 802M pre-wired factory-sealed limit switch products have been expanded to include 4 circuit devices, along with several additional new features that will extend the capabilities of the product line. The 2-circuit Bulletin 802M is now available with a factory-installed retractile cable for applications where the limit switch must move, such as on access gate interlock applications or where traverse motion is necessary. The coiled retractile cable extends from 4 to 20 feet and is of the STO type, incorporating an oil-resistant jacket and oil-resistant conductor insulation. Both 2- and 4-circuit Bulletin 802M pre-wired limit switches can now be supplied with neon indicating lights. Factory-installed 10-conductor STO cables or 10-pin mini connectors are available on the units with 2 pilot lights. The new Bulletin 802M neutral position limit switches can be used to indicate direction of travel. Contact actuation can be wired to reflect the direction of rotation of the head shaft in the operating head. Sequential switching for applications requiring multiple operation of a single switch is now possible with the 802M sequential operating limit switch. As the lever is rotated, the first set of contacts are actuated. As the lever continues its rotation, a second set of contacts are actuated. Adjustable top push and side push operating heads are being released for market and will permit user adjustment for finer control. Both are available in 2- or 4-circuit configurations and should be of special interest to machine tool OEMs and other end users. The new extensions to the Bulletin 802M limit switch lineup and the new AC starters and bolted enclosures. Products that help Allen Bradley customers meet the demands of factory and process plant automation. See you next time on Tech Tips.
Picking up 15 cubic yards of material with every bite, this large shovel helps mine the limestone that forms the basic ingredient for the 1 million-plus tons of cement produced yearly by this plant owned by Medusa Cement. Crushed to a powder and heated to 2,800 degrees inside this large rotary kiln, the limestone mixed with sand, shale, and clay becomes a red-hot bubbling mass as air is pumped from underneath. The clinker, as it is called, is then cooled and sent along these conveyors to the large rotating ball mills, where it is pulverized into the fine gray powder that we know as cement. As the clinker travels that conveyor ride from the kiln to the ball mill, additives are mixed in to help create the various grades and types of cement. The delivery speed of the weigh conveyor fluctuates according to the demand at the ball mill end, and the flow of additives must be proportionately adjusted to keep the mix correct. A total of 6 motors are used in feeding the additives to the larger weigh conveyor system, 4 on small conveyors and 2 on pumps. Only 4 of the motors are used at any given time, and all are controlled simultaneously by a single Allen Bradley 1334 AC variable frequency drive. The ability of the system to automatically adjust the feed rates eliminated the need to make adjustments by hand and helps Medusa maintain consistent quality.
In order to get your mix correct in the finish mill, the different products have to be mixed in a reasonably exact proportion. And in order to do that, you increase or decrease all the feed rates at the same time in order to get your quality.
A tack on the weigh conveyor feeds a speed reference signal to a follower card in the Bulletin 1334 drive. The drive then controls the speeds of the AC motors on the additive pumps and conveyors. 1334 options such as the ammeter, speed meter, and voltmeter give operators information on system status. The use of standard AC motors was desirable due to their ruggedness and inherent ease of maintenance. The elimination of many of the mechanical adjustments reduced the need for operator attention and helped streamline the operation.
You don't have to make individual feeder adjustments to proportion your feed to the mill when it demands more feed, because it is a self-demanding system. And it just automatically increases the feed rate on all of your additives and on your grinding media at the same time.
Multiple motor control is just one of many possibilities with Allen Bradley's Bulletin 1334 AC Variable Frequency Drive. Allen Bradley Drives Division, AC and DC drives for today's industry.